I went in and I remember just sitting there what felt like hours. And the doctor came in and he explained to my parents and me that I had chondrosarcoma. Apparently they had found a mass the size of a golf ball in my right hip, and several other small tumors in my leg. I didn't really know what he was saying, and just remember my mom and my stepdad were crying, and I was just I don't know what to do. I don't know how to react. It was just an emotional experience for them, but for me, I was just so confused. All I knew was I had to have a surgery to remove all of my hip and probably wouldn't walk again. But a week later, I had surgery. I remember specifically walking around 20 times just so I could enjoy that feeling of walking, because I didn't know if or when I would walk again. And I didn't really think much of it. I know all of my family were freaking out, but I remember waking up and everyone was just so happy that I did. And it was really hard after that, because then I could actually feel something happening to me. But after the surgery, I physically could not move, couldn't feel anything. It was hard. That's when I guess it really hit me. My doctor came in that day and he said that the surgery was successful, and since my cancer doesn't respond to chemotherapy or radiation, the only thing they could do was surgery, and all of the malignant tumors were out. Well, I had to slowly learn how to walk, and that was hard because I didn't want to move. I didn't want to get out of bed. I kind of just wanted to lay there and feel sorry for myself. And my mom, she's the one that really forced me out of the hospital bed, and she's the one that made me get into the wheelchair no matter how hard it was. And once I was in the wheelchair and I realized that I could move around and I wouldn't be stuck in a bed my whole life, then that's when I decided that I wasn't gonna let the cancer affect me. And I learned how to walk with crutches, and I finally got to go home. And I was on crutches for about 6 months, and then I was using a cane. So there was a 10-year-old with a cane, and then I finally could walk again. But once I started walking after that, I didn't stop. Yeah, I would definitely say that my mom was my biggest inspiration throughout the whole experience. She's a very real person, and so she wasn't gonna sugarcoat it for me. And when she saw that I was feeling sorry for myself, and when I was just kind of I want to give up in the hospital bed, and she would not let me. Even if I wanted to give up, she was not gonna let that happen. And I really needed that. So some of my life aspirations definitely were shaped around what I've been through. I've always been really good at science, and I've always been really good at I've always been interested in the medical field. And I know as a kid I was clearly familiar with all of that, and whether I wanted to be a pediatrician, or I wanted to be an orthopedic oncologist, or I wanted to be a physical therapist, every doctor that I had to deal with, I kind of had a phase in my life where I wanted to be one of them. And now it's gotten to the point where I think physical therapy will be the best for me. My ultimate goal is to work in the hospital as a physical therapist to help kids. So pretty much just the people that help me, the first people that helped me get from the bed to the wheelchair to the crutches to walking again. Well, Relay for Life was something that I had first heard about when I was diagnosed and all going through that whole thing. And my mom wanted me to do it, so I did it. And I got my family together, and I got a bunch of people together, and of course I had a lot of supporters. And that was definitely eye-opening, because I saw people from all ages, and they got to see me too as a survivor, and I got to walk with my mom and my grandma like through the survivor lap, and that was just kind of like, I don't know, like a humbling moment. Like I realized that like I'm not the only one, like it's bigger than me. When I got to college, my friend, she had gotten an email about Relay for Life and about being part of the committee, and I thought that would be an interesting way to get like involved on campus because I was kind of struggling with finding where I fit, and also like to be on the back side of it where I can like actually help run it and create it and like put like my ideas on the table and like offer my perspective from what I've been through. So that's why I joined Relay for Life in college, and I definitely loved it last year and I loved it this year, so I'm definitely going to continue doing it.
I am not and never will be a victim, but that is just my story. We never think that it will happen to us, but it will. Cancer doesn't discriminate. In our lifetimes, you will be telling your story, whether it is about your mother, your brother, your child, a friend, or even yourself. We are all affected by cancer. All we can do is fight back and put an end to this horrible disease. We are not victims. We are survivors. Thank you.